What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Joe Chapo back in the building. Another edition of If They Only Knew. As always, we got your boy Main Light out of the Bronx. Shit, what's up, Light?
Yo, let's go. Let's stand up, New York, man. Make sure we hit that subscribe, like, share, comment, and then that little bell, that little bell, just fill it up, man. Make sure you hit the all.
That's the important part right there, that little bell, man. But shit, today's episode, man, it was so special we had to double it up, yeah. We got two special guests on here today that graced us. Like, they definitely looking out, man. We definitely appreciate it. Go and introduce yourself. Whichever way you want to start.
Hey, what's up, man? My name's Rojo. I got a channel called A Convict'S Perspective, man. I'm based out of California. And, we started the channel just to talk about, the same genre you guys speak about. And to try to put a positive light on it, man, to hopefully promote some change, within everybody, within ourselves, for one, and our communities, and get them off that negativity, man. And that's the kind of hype we're on our channel, man. And you guys do the same. So when you guys wanted to collab, I seen it as an awesome idea, man, no doubt. And I appreciate your time, gentlemen, for sure.
Oh man, we appreciate your time.
On myself, and Mr. Menudo himself, Mr. Bangladesh, one time for your mind, Sauce, and in that fashion, they call me Gunner from Gunner's Collective. I got a channel out there popping on the West Coast. Hottest thing going in the prison genre right now. Catch on, man, or get caught on. It is what it is. We keep it moving and grooving, and in that fashion. So, anyways, I'm just happy for this platform. I'm gonna get on with it, man. I'm gonna get on with it, and we're gonna make it happen. New York style. Yes, I'm feeling it.
East Coast, West Coast, right here, collab. Yo.
That's right. That's a fact. That's a fact.
East Coast, West Coast.
Hey, I might have to pull out some of them. You know what I mean, son? You know what I mean? I might have to pull those out, boy.
Yeah, I lived out in Cali for a quick little second. I was out there for like 3 years, but I was out in Norwalk and shit like that. Yeah, I went to Santa Fe High and then Frontier and shit. Yeah, I ended up in Frontier. But yeah, I was in Whittier.
Whole different flavor from the East Coast.
Yeah, he was out there. He was out there in Southeast LA. He was in sellout.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. They had gangs out there. Don't get me wrong, but it
was.
Oh yeah,
like, no doubt.
Flooded and shit, like like East LA and all that. Like, nah.
Yeah. See, we're me and Gunner both, man. We're more northern based. I don't know if you know about, you probably do because you're out there for 3 years. But out here, the two main groups are going to be Norteños and Sureños. Mm-hmm. And me and Gunner, Norteño, we were on the northern side. You know what I mean? So, like in history, LA and all them guys, they would be our adversaries. They'd be our ops. You feel me? But nowadays, man, we ain't on that page at all. We're trying for, not only all Latinos, all minorities, anybody worthy, bro, to be on that same page and to be grown men and just be a grown man, bro. We're on that grown man shit. You know what I mean? That's it.
Definitely. So let's start off a little bit. The viewers always want to know. Just tell us a little bit about where you're from, how you came up, and what kind of led you up the road and what you got going on now. I don't know.
Knock it out, Gunner.
Yeah. So on myself, I'm from a little old farm town. Yes, a lane farmer from the north. That's what they like to call me in the San Joaquin Valley, located in Central California, city of Merced, 209 district, right? Don't get it twisted. We out there peeling caps. But at the same time, our flavor's a little bit different. Being located in the Central Valley, I guess we're more Chicano flavor, more Mexicano flavor. Keep it old school, Ben Davis, crease down, West Coast flavor. I myself growing up around gang members and located in the west side of my town, this is all I seen. Growing up, I seen gold chains, I seen Range Rovers, I seen nice cars, and man, I'm trying to have that in my life, right? And so I gravitated towards that, fast cars, fast women, things of that nature. And I ended up getting caught up in a 187 at the age of 11. Yes, sir, we start out young out here in California, right? And that took me on a long road of incarceration, getting affiliated, becoming a northerner, a Norteño, and being all the way pulled into which is the subset level of the organization, which up north is the Nuestra Familia. I got pulled into the Nuestra Raza, which is just below them. And my career just gravitated, just a lot of gang violence, a lot of he said, she said, politics, prison things. And yeah, man, I could sit here and tell you stories and go on for days of things that happen and refer to my channel. You hear all that. But at the same time, that's pretty much my get down, man. Just a kid out there, hard knock life. Started out in the streets, single mother home, and gravitated towards prison, where ultimately most of us end up, where I am out there making the right moves, you know. But now I'm making the best moves. I'm making my power moves in shower shoes, pulling hoses, strippers, and Gucci slippers, and that's what I'm doing. But,
That's right. Myself, man, I'm Rojo, man. I'm originally from Detroit. I lived there until the mid 80s and then relocated to Houston, Texas. But I used to go back and forth between Houston and Detroit growing up. Caught my first little term when I was like 13, ended up in the Texas Youth Commission, you know what I mean, which is juvenile jail for those who aren't familiar, juvenile prison, you know, more accurately. About 17 years old, man, I started running with the Latin Kings in Houston. Never decided to join up with them because of some incarceration issues and being separated from the group. And one of my crimes, man, I got busted with a prohibited weapon, which was just an altered firearm, right? And they told me I could take 10 years, which really ain't shit in Texas. The way their sentencing was at the time, out of parole in 13 months. But it so happened in the meantime, my family was planning on moving to California anyway. So lawyer talked to district attorney about how about if he leaves the state, we'll let him, you know, we won't pursue this. We'll give him probation, violate him in Texas. So if I got caught in Texas within 10 years, I'd be violating the probation. I go to prison anyway. And they just gone ahead and sent me to California, continued me on probation. Got out to California to the Bay Area, man. I was like, Concord, Pittsburgh, Antioch, it's East Bay, Oakland suburbs, you know, for the listeners to understand. Man, I caught a beef right away, man. See, in Texas, man, when you're 17, you go to the county jail, not when you're 18, like in a lot of places. So I had got out of the county down there, went out to California, ended up back in juvenile hall. Got sentenced as an adult, you know what I'm saying? Got a little small term in the county. Wasn't out long, went to prison, man. We used to break into stores, man, jewelry stores and gun stores. That was our thing. We drive stolen vehicles through the front, you know what I mean, and get our stuff, you know what I mean? I go to prison for that, man. My first term, man, I was in general population, chilling, no problems. Right before I'm about to parole, somebody dropped a kite on me, said I was causing tension on the yard. Parole from the hole. When you parole from the hole, when you come back, you go directly to the hole until you see classification. During that time in the hole, man, I got into it with the gang coordinator trying to pump me for information. I told him basically to, you know, polish me up, you know what I'm saying? And they gave me what's called a validation, which means I was certified by the state as a prison gang member. Bear in mind, at the time, I wasn't. I was with the organization, however, not an official member. You know what I mean? Out here, you got NF, then you got NR, then you got Nortenos. I was just a regular Norteno at the time. So as soon as my validation packet comes through, I talked to one of the homies. I'm like, shit, I'm validated. I might as well join. He's like, oh, you want to join? Man, I joined NR like Gunner that day. Well, time goes by, man. I end up going to Pelican Bay, which is our most maximum security housing out here in California. I end up joining the NF, you know what I mean? And man, all hell breaks loose, like 4 terms, you know what I mean? Almost got hit in the RICO indictment, man, all kinds of madness in association with my affiliation with that particular organization, you know what I mean? I joined as a young man. I was only 20 years old when I joined. So I was like one of the youngest and one of the very few white members of this group. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a predominantly Latino group. We're not a racist group though. Black members can join, Asians. It's all about your character as an individual and your get down and your willingness to conform with our set procedures and policies and regulations, et cetera.
Was it always open to anyone? Was it?
Yeah, we're not bound by any racial kind of stuff like that. You have to be a man. You have to conduct yourself appropriately. You have to be with the business. You have to be intelligent, and you have to be able to handle yours in any kind of, you know, negative situation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's been black members, white members, you know, we don't trip like that. Actually, we're, you know, throughout history, we've been aligned with the African-American groups out here. You know, the Sureños and the white boys tend to gravitate together, and us and the brothers tend to ride together. You know what I mean? So it's real political out here, man. I talk to a lot of people from other states, Florida, this and that. Out here, like, It's a trip, bro. Everything revolves around race or geography. North and South for Latinos and Paisas, you know what I mean? Paisas are they're kind of their own group that does their own little thing. You know, they don't really usually get into too many confrontations, but out here it's North and South, and then it's white against black for the most part. There are a few exceptions, like me being an NF member who's white. There's probably been a dozen since the 60s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You'll see an occasional white Crip, but that's not an easy route to do in California. You know what I mean? Not at all. You know what I'm saying?
He's a real one.
I've seen one or two African-American Sureños, but that's another hard route, man, because so much back and forth between the Crips and the Sureños over the last few decades, man, it makes it a rough trip for you. You know what I mean? But California is its own animal, man. But anyway, I've done 4 terms. I've done about 15 years probably. And shit, I just got my grown man on starting about, man, 7-8 years ago, man. I finally got my shit together and trying to move forward with that positivity, man, and spread my knowledge of what I've learned, because I've been at the very top, to these people who still glamorize the shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my story pretty much in a nutshell.
So what was it like for either one of you? What was it like with that transition going from the street life to the grown man life? Was it something that you struggled with, or, I mean, once you made your mind up, were you there? You know, how was that transition?
Yeah, with me, I mean, for a while there, it's when you only know one thing for so long, it's hard to wake up one day and look yourself in the mirror and say, man, it's all over. My career's over. That's it. Because, in California, that's what we label it. We call it a career. Yeah. Even though it ain't like being no baseball player, even though sometimes we do have to use bats, right? Yeah. But I'm like, I had to look myself in the mirror, because the only one that can judge you is yourself. Yeah. And so I looked in the mirror and I said, man, my career is really over. And it took me a while, man. It took me a couple of years to really give up the ghost, to really disassociate myself. Still today, I'm not fully, look, you see, this is a predominant color that we rock. I still have that, but at the same time, I'm trying to promote unity, right? So I still have little things, little symbolizations. It's hard to let go. And I'll always have love for my people and that movement and that cause that I joined, because I was a true believer. But at the same time, man, you have to, there's separation in life. You have to understand that if you want to keep going left, you're going to keep going in circles. It's time to make the right, see what's down that road. So that's the route that I chose. And I'm still doing this as far as getting my grown man on. Being a man, but not a grown man. You know what I mean? And it's different. So every day is a struggle. Like, okay, I got to let that. But, you got to understand, I got incarcerated at a very young age. So I ain't even going to lie. I'm institutionalized. Prison is on my mind. Gangs are on my mind every single day. Hence why I created a channel. Basically, it's my way of putting it out there, getting it off my chest and letting the masses find out and know, give them some education onto what I went through, things that I've seen, people I know, places I've been, and to, that there's positive ways to go to get away from that. Yeah. So this is what I'm doing, and I'm just going to continue as such. But yeah, man, it's a hard road. It's not easy for anyone that says. I mean, you teach their own, but for me, it wasn't easy. We'll say it like that. Yeah. Good, Roll.
Hey, my hardest thing with that transition, man, was when you disassociate yourself kind of out here, you're kind of labeled like funny a little bit. You know what I mean? People look at you a little different, and it would suck, man, because I had decades long relationship, and people would be like, man, you were at the very top. Why would you walk away? Bro, you don't know what I know, brother. You have no clue. You have no idea. And the harder thing for me, besides the whole banging thing, was my unwillingness to get the bag the right way. I was always chasing the bag. My thing above banging was dropping weight. You know what I'm saying? That was my thing. And that was the hardest thing to give up in the world, man, because it's like, here I am at work. Don't get me wrong. I'm in the union. I make loot. You know what I'm saying? But damn it, if I go see the homeboy right here, give me 3-4 days, I got a half a year's salary. Yep. So that was a real hard thing. You know what I mean? To transition into, man, having somebody tell me what to do 40 hours a week, and being able to survive but not thrive. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to do that, man. We got all these little avenues. We're trying to build up this channel. We're trying to get into some, motion picture type stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it requires the patience and you know, just patience really
Yeah.
that I didn't have more than 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was like, man, I'm fixing to get me some bread straight up.
You was used to having everything fast money,
Yep.
fast cars, everything,
Yep.
fast women and shit. You know? So that's the hardest transition, to slowing down and
Yeah.
having to really deal with what the hell life is really throwing at you and shit.
Man, having to live on a little budget and shit.
Yeah.
You know, hey, this is rent. Man,
Yeah.
before, hey, it wasn't nothing to go to the casino and spend 2,500, give the homeboys 1,000. You know what I mean? Now it's like, go to the casino, 2,500. What are you talking
That's
about?
my
Dude, it
mortgage.
ain't happening.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It's just a whole different lifestyle change, man. Like the area where I'm from, all of my homeboys and associates, they weren't really into the whole gang banging thing. Like, don't get me wrong, if you seen the op, you'd handle your business real quick, but it's not like 24 hours a day we're riding around trying to smack fools.
Yeah.
Where I'm from, man, everybody was trying to get their paper. You know what I mean? It was all about slanging this, hustling that, working this, working a chick, whatever the case might be. The Bay Area is more, it's really, really diversified, man. You got a lot of different kinds of people everywhere, and everybody's influences are rubbing off on each other.
Yeah.
And man, we seen fools getting paper, man. We're getting paper too. Fuck them other guys, man. They're weak anyway. That's what we're thinking. They ain't no threat.
He's just gonna bring heat, and nobody's gonna make money.
Nah, once the violence comes, that's when the feds and all them start coming too.
Exactly.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. They be on that kill shit.
Oh,
man, you're killing your pockets, bro.
exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's just bringing nothing but heat, man.
That's a fact.
No doubt.
That's a fact. No, I hold on. Yeah. I wanted to kind of go back to where y'all was talking about, you know, where anybody could join a certain gang, you know, as far as Black can join this gang. Like I was in prison in the 90s, so I haven't been back since 2000. So the politics in New York could have changed. I don't know, but I know when I was up north, man, that didn't fly in New York. Like you, if you was white, you was in a white gang. If you was Spanish, you was in a Spanish gang, and so forth and so forth. So to hear, you know, so like, have y'all heard that before about New York, like in general? Because I want to give a take. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
Well, I had heard that there's like Latin kings that have Black fools in it and white boys. You know what I'm saying? And I know the Latin king's presence is strong enough where they can be like, nah, that's our homeboy. What? You know, same with the Bloods. They're deep out there. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know too much about like the Netas or nothing like that, but they're deep. Out here, 99% of the time, you're gonna fall suit with your race. When you what's a trip is everybody perceives different groups different. Like the Northerners, there's a lot of white Northerners. Like as far as me being NF, there's a few. It is, but it's not so common. You're not gonna see a Black dude running around with the white boys. Occasionally, like once every couple years, you'll see a white boy that runs with the brothers. Yeah. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it's the same. But the only group out here that really trips on the race is the whites. You know what I mean? That's you're not going to be a Aryan Brotherhood and you're from Compton, you know, with goatee, a perm. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. But for the most part, it doesn't really cross the racial boundaries. The Northerners, you know, who we associate with, that would be the biggest exception because there's a lot of white fools. There's Native Americans. There's a few Islanders like Samoans and Filipinos and shit. But still, it is predominantly 85% Latino. You know what I mean? But there's no written rules, maybe except for the whites. And even like there's different kind of white boys out here. You got the real Aryan Brotherhood type dudes, and you got the Nazi lowrider type of dudes where they don't play that shit at all. And the skinhead type fools, you know what I mean? Like that. Then you got regular woods that don't necessarily trip, but they're still under them bigger groups umbrellas, so they got to fall suit. There's a lot of white boys out here that aren't racist. You know what I mean? I know them from the streets. They be bumping rap. Then they go in there and all of a sudden they're listening to country. You know what I'm saying? It's just survival, bro. People got to do what they got to do to survive. And, you know, I was never with that racial bullshit. And that's why when I rolled up, I didn't mess with the white boys. I was like, nah, I'm a Northerner, man. Fuck what y'all talking about. I ain't with that. You know what I mean? But it's the same though. It's the same. As far as New York goes, I don't know a lot about the politics out there. All I know really is the Latin kings are thick. You know what I'm saying? And the Bloods are thick. I mean, that's about the extent of my knowledge as far as that goes.
That's not. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. You know what I mean?
See,
So
my take on it is if you do happen to see like a white Crip or a white Blood or whatever the case may be from a predominantly African American gang, best believe he's a real one.
Yeah.
Best believe he didn't just
Because the white boys are going to try to holler at him.
exactly.
Yeah,
He didn't just get there that day and decide that he's going to be a Blood. No, this man grew up in East Oakland. This man grew up right there with all the brothers. This man is a brother just with white skin. Believe that 100%. And there's some cats up there, and these guys will put you on your pockets. They're not playing. I ran into several of them. As far as the Northern go, the reason why we're probably the one group that have a lot more different different races in it. And the reason being that we associate more with a lot of urbanly classed people. And not only that, what we do is it's up north is different. Up north, you had a lot of people that migrated up north. So you have a lot of whites, you have a lot of blacks, you have a lot of Asians, and we all kicked it together. So hence people you're a product of your environment, wherever you're from, that's what you're going to get with. And then we go by set rules as far as in the north called the bonds, right? And one of the main bonds is that you will be, if you are worthy of the cause, regardless of racial makeup, regardless of all that, you just have to be worthy. You know, if you're worthy of the cause, we'll bypass all that and you'll be embraced. And then it doesn't matter. And then we're going to ride with you to the fullest. If we get a white homeboy such as Rowan, he comes in and he's embraced. Well, if the white boys try to move on him, it's not even going to be a question. We're going to move on them immediately. And they know better. If they see that he's embraced, they're not even going to come up on him. Yeah. There's certain times where they might trip and look hard a little bit. But then, you know, there's certain groups in California that people know not to mess with. And there's four predominant gangs in California as far as prison gangs. We're talking about the Aryan Brotherhood, the NF, the Mexican Mafia, and the Black Guerrilla family. And then, of course, with the African Americans, you have a whole bunch of subsets, the Kumi, the 415s out of the Bay, the Bloods, the Crips, so on and so forth. But these four predominant basically run the political makeup of everything in prison. So everyone's going to fall under them. So like I said, just like Rojo said, you're not going to be black joining the whites because they're more on some racial hate type, bigotry type. This is their make. This is what they promote. Yeah. Where the gangs, we're more on the gang tip. You know, we're having racial division just because that's the politics and the makeups of the yards. But at the same time, we're going to have different, you know, I've seen, you know, within the Sureños, you know, they have some blacks, they have some whites, very minimal, because you got to understand that down in LA, it's very congested. There's several barrios and it's just 90% Latino or African American. So this is what there is. You're not going to have too many white boys living in their barrios because, I mean, families, they ain't trying to be over there. They're trying to get up out of there, right? So that's why you're not going to have too many of them. But up north, it's different. Up north, it's embracement. It's a melting pot. There's the Bay Area is a little bit of everybody. So you'll see in certain areas, you go out to Contra Costa County, Fairfield, Vacaville, and all that's predominantly white Northerners out there. You go into Oakland and all that, you'll have a lot of brothers that are Northerners, you know what I mean? Because that's where they grew up. Yeah. You go into the Valley, you're going to have a lot of Native Americans, you know what I mean? Indigenous people, because there's a lot of reservations out there. I'm talking about Tulare County, things of that nature. So that's the makeup of North. So everything is different, but at the end of the day, everyone's on that same level. Hey, you're going to fight for your people, and that's just what it is, period. Plain and simple, no matter what race they are.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think about the gangs in New York? Like, what do you think about the LA gangs reaching New York? Like, growing up, we grew up with what we call posses, which was our neighborhood and the people we grew up with. It wasn't really anything gang related except for like the language and stuff like that.
And bike gangs. There was bike gangs. Those were the only gangs.
The gangs, yeah. I mean, they've been around forever.
Things out there, don't you?
The what?
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The spade, the black spade, I think it is,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, LA, man, them guys were smart. You know what I'm saying? They seen an opportunity to get some paper and organize. Man, hey, when I grew up in Detroit, man, there wasn't no Bloods, Crips. You know, there might have been a small amount of gangster disciples, a small amount of Latin kings, but mostly it was like Young Boys Incorporated, Best Friends, you know, and that was just basically dope dealers that had a common interest in protecting one another's interests. You know what I'm saying? Now Detroit, same thing. Bloods, Crips, Gangster Disciples, Traveling Vice Lords. Same with Houston. When I moved to Houston,
Yeah.
there was a few Latin Kings and some Black Disciples. That was it. And now they're not. LA just blew up all across the country, man. And a lot of it, man, a lot of it might be real members from LA going to places, relocating, recruiting. A lot of it's just like, man, there's some people, man, and I'm not going to say nobody in particular, but oh, we're Bloods now. Like, all of a sudden, you guys are Bloods, and that happens a lot.
Next question: do you think they respect the gangs that's up north and not LA based? Do you think they respect them on the same level? Like, can a Blood from New York go to LA and still be on the same level? Will they respect them the same way?
Probably not, man. But I mean, it's hard to say. It's probably going to be more of an individual thing. If you carry yourself correctly, you know what I mean. You're not trying to go against the grain, because you come into somebody else's territory. You kind of got to follow into the way their lifestyle is and get in where you fit in, essentially. I would say it'd be more individual, but they keep an eye on you. You know what I mean? They'd be like, I don't know about these fools from over there. You know what I'm saying? Who blessed you in? Who did you, how'd you become a Blood? You know what I mean? There'd be a lot of questions, but man, if you conducted yourself appropriately, man, you'd be embraced, in my opinion.
It all comes down to what the great Tupac said, right? B's and C's, all those other cats are copycats. These are G's, right? So, and that was frivolous talk, but what he was trying to say was that this is where gangs originated, as far as the Crips, the Bloods, Norteños, Sureños, right? Our homegrown gangs. Now, hey, I've heard of a lot of different territorial gangs out there in New York, the Trinitarios, a lot of Puerto Rico gangs, Dominicans, just a lot of different.
A lot of those are prison gangs. Those started as prison gangs, a lot of those.
Exactly, but even those, they're based out there. That's where they come from, right? So we're out here where a lot of these gangs too that are derived are prison gangs. Of course, the Crips weren't. They went into prison, California Revolution in progress, but they were started by 2 ex-convicts and guys that predominantly did their thing in prison and recruited from that recruiting pool. Like I said, anything that really counts on the West Coast are from prison. Yeah. Then it's spilled out onto the streets. You got a whole bunch of different barrios and neighborhoods and all that, but they're going to answer to these guys in prison. Plain and simple, that's just what it is.
Those 4 groups that he mentioned, the NF, the Mexican Mafia, the BGF, and the AB, they're going to dictate everything under them. Everything comes from prison out here. You know what I mean? There's going to be a couple gangs that, are on the streets, but they're not really big factors, like as far as, their population and this and that they're going to be independent. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you're going to answer to prison in one way or another, whether it's you personally, maybe not, but your big homie might. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And all directives are going to come from there. Everybody from the North is going to respect what the NF says, or you're going to come up short. Everybody from LA and San Diego, they're going to respect what the Mexican Mafia says, or man, they'll erase your whole bloodline, bro. You know what I mean? They won't come and beat you up. Yeah. They're, you know what I mean? You're gonna man, you're gonna kick in, bro. You're gonna kick in, or you're gonna get bounced. Bad things will happen. You know what I mean?
Nobody's what's the word? Nobody is gonna get away from that. Nobody. Nobody's immune to it. Even these biker clubs, they've tried over decades to go against the grain, and they've all fell in line. They've all fell in line. The Hells Angels that went against the grain for a while, but at the end, they know that, guess what? Everybody's going to get locked up when you're a criminal organization or you're doing criminal activities. And then you have to pay the piper. You got to meet the big guys back there. They're sitting at that table. And so when they got there, the Aryan Brotherhood said, you're either going to fall in line. And for years, these guys weren't able to walk main lines, and they were getting lit on fire and thrown over tiers and stuff. And so they got into the fold. Same thing happened with another biker club, which was the Mongols, which are predominantly from Southern California, that decided that they were going to start recruiting from the same recruiting pool as the Mexican Mafia and not fall into line and pay taxes. And let's just say they are now under that umbrella. It doesn't work out good for anyone that tries to go against these big 4. These big 4 are established. They're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah. As far as go
ahead, Rojo.
As far as the big 4, man, the easiest time to do would be a group that's not Latino, man. Out here, like the Latino-based groups, you're expected to perform at an elite level, whether in jail, whether on the streets, whether your mom's sick in the hospital, whether your daughter's being born. You get that call, you're expected. There's nothing else that comes above the interests of the group.
Yeah.
Period. Not your own real family, not your children. Brothers and white boys, they have it a little bit easier because they're more allowed to be independent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can function unless you join one of the, you join the BGF or you join the Aryan Brotherhood. If you're outside of them groups, you can go on the streets and live a normal life.
Yeah.
If you function as a northerner or a southerner, that's pretty much your game plan for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now,
it's crazy, y'all. That's the real talk, though. That's 100% real.
and see right now what you have in California going on, and it'd be good to be enlightened on as far as how the East Coast, how New York is going out there. But what we have now is out here we have a big word that's considered active gang members that are really with the business. They're out there with the functions. They're out there really making moves, wiggling. I call it wiggleization, right? At the same time, you have a lot of guys that are stepping away, are characterized one way or the other because they're not with the activities anymore. And there's a lot of different intricacies that go into that. We could sit here all day talking about it. Some groups are going to feel some way, some are not. But anyways, so right now what you have is you have a lot of separation in California. It's kind of like a civil war going on. You have these guys that are not really with the politics anymore, that are like, nah, we're tired of these big four. We're tired of being told what to do. We want to do our own thing. And then you have these guys are, oh no, we're going to keep going and you're going to keep getting what you got. And so right now in California, you have there's a big thing going on where you have a lot of unity, but at the same time, you have a lot of dissension. So it's going down right now in California, man. It's not as quiet as it looks. I mean, it's really going. It's going back to like the 90s. There's war in them streets right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely like that in New York too. So like there's a lot of YouTube drama from New York, where there's a lot of different, where the Bloods or Crips, and they going back and forth. Some of them aren't active, but you know what I mean? Like it's the same exact thing is happening here in New York. I kid you not. Like it's a civil war. Like they all going back and forth at each other, pulling up like stories, like, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is, man.
If you're not active, why are you in the mix? That like you should be sitting down somewhere, man. Like it's crazy.
Taking care of your kids, paying bills, buying a house. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the whole point of being not active and shit, is to be chilling.
Well, this is the thing, is the guys that are, a lot of them that are non-active and don't want, right, are trying to do that, but these active guys are not letting them. They're feeling some type of way, right? They're feeling some type of way. So these guys, you got to understand, just because a guy walks away or whatever the case may be, he's still a gangster in his heart. He can still get with the activities if he needs to, right? He knows how to squeeze. So when these guys are just not letting him go live his family life, they're not letting him go get that bag, they feel some type of way because they're mad because he's not with them anymore. They're going to move on him. And when they try to move on him, guess what? He's going to move back. And that's where the friction starts. It's not that a lot of, and then you do have, man, I could sit here all day talking about, then you have dropped out gangs and crazy shit. Man, we ain't even going to get into all that, but I'm just saying, it's just in California, this is a very gang related state. Everything goes by what the gang dictates, period. It's all gangs.
And it's all dictated by about 5 people from each group. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn, man. All right, well, shit, yeah. Let's move into a more positive note. I mean, I could go off all day about this and shit, but
no doubt.
We want to also focus on you guys' channel and push what you guys are doing as well, because we on the same level. Like we're trying to create a network where everybody helps everybody pushes everybody's stuff and shit. Like you share mine, I share yours. You help me, I help you. Whatever. Create a network. And I reached out to you and instantly you was like, cool, I'm on it, I'm with it, no question. And then you even brought Gunner. Like that was another surprise. Like
I got your email, man, and I was on the phone with them, so I was just like, hey, you want to jump on this real quick, man, because maybe this will open a door for you guys in Cali a little more so. Maybe this will open up some doors out in New York and the East Coast. working
That's a fact.
together. Hey, you can accomplish a lot individually, but you can accomplish way more when everybody's on the same page. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what we on. And like I said, we definitely appreciate you guys coming on. And
100, bro. No problem whatsoever.
Likewise, likewise.
Love this. Like, but before we go, we always ask, because a lot of the people that came on our channel has, told us they developed some sort of PTSD from, being incarcerated. Do you think this is something that you guys have been affected with, or do you know people that have?
Yeah, I myself am institutionalized.
Yeah.
Not really post-traumatic, but institutionalized to the point where, I mean, every day there's some type of thought of incarceration that goes through my mind, whether it be the way I fold my clothes, the way I put my bars of soap on a shelf a certain way. Everyone trips because I keep my room like a cell. I mean, I got photo albums. I mean, certain things have to be straight and things have to be a certain way. That's just me, but it's because it's a repetitive thing. For doing it so long, I became institutionalized. I wake up at certain times in the morning, count time, right? Oh, shit, it's not count time no more, right? I'm going back. But I was so used to it for so long. This is just how it is with me. But I have had a lot of friends that have post-traumatic, man. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Myself personally, man, I would say I've been fortunate in the amount of time that I've gotten. I've done 4 prison terms. However, they've been relatively short. I've been blessed with some good luck, some bad evidence, etc., whatever you might want to call it.
Yeah.
But I've done 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been in some messed up places. I've done some messed up things. I've seen some messed up things. I've done a lot of time in Pelican Bay SHU, 23-1, that kind of program. I've been up there 3 times. I think with the relatively short amount of times I've done, I've been able to readapt really well. A couple, 2, 3 days, I'm right back in the mix of the streets again. Man, that shit's put on the back burner. You know what I mean? I would say it hasn't affected me personally, but yes, I am slightly institutionalized because I still, everywhere I go, I scan for threats. You know what I mean? I'm an observant. Man, if you think I'm not paying attention, you're tripping. It could look like I'm sleeping. I'm listening, watching, all that shit because, man, I've seen shit pop off, man, just in the instant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm prepared for that at all times. You know what I mean? Whether I'm at the restaurant, whether I'm at the mall, and I'm really even more super vigilant when I'm with my kids. You know what I mean? Because I gotta protect you. You know what I'm saying? At any and all costs. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as like post-traumatic stress, I would say no, but there's definitely behaviors that I've learned that will never go away. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with having a good sense of security because we live in some crazy times. You look at that dude over there acting all funny, talking to himself, he might start shooting up some shit. And I'd rather just throat chop his ass and get it out the way. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, miss all that bullshit. But, I think all the lessons that I learned in prison have actually been beneficial in my life. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I haven't had too much, I don't think anything like post-traumatic stress. I can see why some individuals have it. You know what I'm saying? But personally, me, I think I slid through that luckily. You know what I mean?
So tell me a little bit of why you decided to start a YouTube channel and about your channel, and how they could get in contact with you.
So me, the channel was Gunners Collective, right? Mine started on a whim. Mine started on basically I got a hold of Flaco, which is the partner of Rojo. He's not here today from a Convict'S perspective. And he was on another channel. Shout out to Tony out there. Stories written by current prisoner. It's another good channel you guys might want to tap into. But he was looking for an interview, and I was like, you know what? I got a little story to tell. I'll tap in with them. So I tapped in with them on the comments. Got with them. We knew a lot of the same people. We actually missed each other in prison by days, right? And we were both on a certain level within prison, so we kind of, knew the same mix. And after we do a vetting process. When we're doing interviews, we talk to the person, see if they're really about that. Anyone could say they've been places and done that, but you don't really know, So after going through the motions right there, all right, yeah, you're with it. So he interviewed me. Well, my interview blew up to about 100,000 views in about a few weeks on Tony's channel. Is some of his better material. So right then and there, I said, man, it wasn't this guy asking the questions. It had to be me, right? So I was sitting back one day and I said, maybe I should dibble my hands in this YouTube thing and trip out. And I didn't know nothing about YouTube. I'm saying 5 months ago, 6 months ago, I was laying on the bed watching YouTube channels just like everyone else. And I jumped on it. I think I did 1,000 subscribers in a little over 24 hours.
Wow.
And I did my 40 hours of content time in a few days. And then the sky's been the limit. I think I'm sitting at like 23,000 subscribers right now. It's been a few months, but I bring a whole different element. I'm classified as prison genre, but I promote positivity, unity for the raza, unity for all minorities worthy of the cause. Yep. There's a lot of comedy. I mean, you would trip. People watch my channel for various different reasons. They like my swag, my attitude, my game, my spit, my comedy, my stories, whatever the case may be. Just like and subscribe, right? But this is just what I bring to the table, and I'm all about positivity. I'm all about uplifting other channels and helping everyone to network. Hey, there's a bag for everyone. Exactly. Everyone can eat, and let's go ahead and get it, But Gunners Collective, tap in one time. I actually we got a lot lined up right now. I got a boxing match. We got an exhibition boxing match going on with me and another channel, Cholo Trucker. Shout out to Cholo Trucker's channel. This guy called me out on YouTube, and man, pobrecito for him, he's in trouble, right? But June 26th, live on pay-per-view. I don't know if you guys got the description, the link yet. Live on pay-per-view. He will have to see me, one time for his mind, and that's bad news for him. But yeah, we got a lot going on, man. But that's how I started. I'm gonna continue as such.
Definitely send me the information so I can put it in the description.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll send you the link right after we get off. As far as a convict's perspective goes, man, I met my co-host Flaco helping another individual that was a mutual acquaintance of ours do a move, and we hit it off. You know what I mean? A few months later, he gets at me. He's like, same person, Tony, stories by a current prisoner. It's a dope channel, bro. Yeah. They got a lot of call-ins from inside the walls and stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of his.
Yeah, man, he's got some good stuff. It's raw, you know what I mean? But Flaco tells me, he's like, hey, this guy wants to interview you. You know what I mean? He's never had one of my people, NF member, on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, man, I'll think about it. Then he told me he was willing to pay me, and he offered me a nice chunk of change. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. Because historically, an NF member is not going to talk straight up, just period. You know what I mean? So, same thing with Gunner, man. I did like 5 different things on that channel, and a couple got 100,000, couple got 70,000, 50,000, whatever. And then me and Flaco, we went out to San Francisco one day, and we were chilling. We're like, man, we should make our own channel, bro. You know what I mean? Because dude was breaking him off to interview people, then it was chunky. You know what I mean? And so if he's affording to break him off X amount of dollars, he must be making X amount of dollars. So I'm like, man, let's do it. So we started our own thing, and it's the same kind of thing, man. To speak about things, give our perspective. That's where Convict's perspective comes in, because I don't know everything, even though I was kind of up at the top. I don't know everything, so a lot of it's nobody does. It's going to be an opinion. So we break down various things throughout, about gang life, about prison life, about whatever the case might be. We do interviews, we do all kinds of stuff. But same thing, we're prison genre, man, but we're on the positivity thing. We're not with that, oh, you guys are from this city, so we don't like you kind of stuff. You know what I mean? We ain't with that stuff, bro. That's childish, bro. I'm a grown man. If you conduct yourself and you present a good character to me, I'm gonna fuck with you straight up. If not, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got time for that stuff. But it's the same thing. Tony from Stories by a Current Prisoner got us started, and then Flaco, my co-host, both of us. That's why we're all here. You know what I mean? And we're just on that positivity thing, bro. That's it, man. Trying to steer people that still glamorize that stuff. And hey, man, there's other ways you can be a grown man, bro. You don't gotta stab and kill and do all that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Take care of your family.
Yo, hey, yo, I'm glad y'all came on the channel because our channel is like that, where it's about positivity. And sometimes, we be sitting back and people is coming on our channel giving their stories. And we're like, damn, why people we're not trying to go down that route of I always say, how can you teach somebody something if you're going like this? I remember when I was on the island, I blast like 4 niggas, word up. So that kid on the other side is listening. So now when they get to the island, they remember what Light said when Light blasted 4. So now I'm a blast 4. And the cycle just keeps going and going and going and never stops, And I want to thank y'all because, I got a new motivation. I know we can make it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all being successful, going down y'all route, letting me and Joe know that we can do the same too, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, you put in the work. The thing with this YouTube thing is you gotta stay consistent. You know what I mean? Because man, things go so fast on the internet. Man, you miss 4, 5, 6 days. Yeah. They're on to the next channel because that dude's giving them something. They're feeding them. You gotta stay on top of it, bro. And you got to stick with your message. You know what I mean? Don't falter from your message, man, because they'll call you out on that shit immediately. Hey, you guys know them internet trolls are some cold motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. So you get any trolls coming at you guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we get them trolls daily. You just got to know how to maneuver. You just got to know how to maneuver, how to wiggle, and pay them no mind. Read everything that they write. You know what I mean? Because it's interesting. A lot of it's comedy. I might be able to use it in my content. But at the same time, pay them no mind. They're not going to get no love on our part and no shine.
Yeah, they're at home in their grandmama's basement talking smack.
Exactly. We don't give them no time. We're going to keep it pushing because at the end of the day, man, we know the reasoning behind this. And, a lot of people are going to sit here and they're just, I'm doing it for one reason, I'm doing another. Hey, quiet as it's kept. We're all doing it for different reasons. But at the end of the day, if there's a bag at the end of that rainbow, hey, we're not gonna pass that by. You know what I mean? So let's
got families, mouths to feed, man.
Exactly. In order to really elevate your status to that level and to really get popping on YouTube, you just have to stay consistent. Consistency is the main key here. Content, stay relevant, and keep pushing that same agenda that, like Rojo said, that you're pushing from the gate. Don't switch up. Yeah. You can adapt. You can bring other elements in. We're doing that. We're about to start a podcast. We're doing interviews with a lot of hip hop people. We're making a lot of contacts. We did an interview with Mr. Caleb. Shout out to Mr. Caleb Pinkett, Jada Pinkett's brother, a good friend of mine, right? We did an interview with him. I mean, we're making moves in the industry, and like I said, man, as YouTube starts to open up to you, you will see a lot of things that get put on your plate, man. It's all about time, patience, and positivity, period.
Yeah, we got lucky. Both us and Gunner blew up quick. We were monetized in like 2 days. You know what I'm saying? We got the 1,000 and the 4,000 in 2 days. But it's because we were fortunate enough to be able to piggyback from that dude Tony, Stories by a Current Prisoner. People already knew us, and out here, like if you're an NF or NR member, people are going to be drawn to that automatically. Yeah. Like I said, in my situation, my people don't usually speak whatsoever. Yeah, period. You know what I mean? So they'd be like, oh, that's Rojo from Pittsburgh. We got to check this out. So a lot of it was just, circumstances that we had no control over, which is great. Thank you. Man, we done 2 videos and we're monetized. Gracias.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people got to be patient though and just keep pushing and it'll come. Eventually, it takes one good video or one good interview. Man, all of a sudden you're floating, Yeah.
Hey, and never doubt yourself, because I'm telling you, one day I was sitting in my car. I had a video that I recorded a week prior, and I said, man, I'm going to erase this video right now. I'm not going to drop it. Well, guess what? I dropped that video. It's my biggest video yet that I ever dropped, and I thought it sucked, right? But everyone else loved it. So, and it continues to pick up views every single day. I'm up well over 100,000 views on it. And hey, it got to the point where the guy who started us out, Tony, he's calling me, talking about, hey, you did better than I did today. I said,
That's right. That's right. Shoot.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate it, man. We definitely appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt, man.
Any help we could get, any advice we could get. Like, we in this. We're not going anywhere. We've been doing this, tough. Like, we interview damn near every day.
Oh, yeah. Daily.
Yeah. So
Daily?
I mean, we're not at a level where we could drop it daily yet. Yeah, but we gotta get there, man. We gotta
You guys go live and stuff. You guys go
Yeah.
live too.
yeah, yeah.
You guys got your super Snapchat, all that stuff set up.
We just turned on. We just turned on the super chat. We got our first donation on Friday. Like we go live twice a week, and then we'll drop a video in between to see. Hopefully, we can move forward with dropping, daily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just don't go back, man. Just always do more. Don't do less. You know what I mean? We drop every day. We're dropping something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Both of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, the thing is, we have the content to drop, but we've noticed it splits the views. Because we don't have a large fan base yet. So some will watch this one and some will watch this one. And then, the numbers look low. So people think it's a whack video and they don't want to watch it. Like, we got to be, ours is like chess. Like, we got to strategically drop these videos at a certain time.
We're still like that too, my man. We're still like that too. Yeah. Hey, some days, like Gunner said, a video you think ain't the best, man, it'll do 20,000. The next day you think you got a banger, you do 1,200. The algorithms and stuff on YouTube are almost impossible to figure out, bro.
I just dropped a video a few hours ago, 3 hours ago, about my brother. I got a brother doing 27 years. I've been sitting on this video for about a month, just sitting on this video, just putting other videos before it. Steadily, I consistently do 10,000 views. Same thing for Rojo. This is what we do at the minimum. Not even tripping. I just did 5,000 views in an hour and a half, So you just never know when that one is going to hit them. When they like it, it's all timing, man. There's some days we're like, oh yeah, we're winning. And we do 1,000 views in 4 hours. And we're like, what? Right? You just don't know. You can't figure YouTube out. They're going to push who they want to push when they want to push you. And it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, shit, like I said.
I'll tell you what, thumbnails and titles too, they're important. You know what I mean? You got to get a thumbnail that says, damn, I gotta watch that. Or a title like, damn, that sounds crazy. I click, you know what I mean? That, there's a lot of work that goes into them thumbnails and just thinking of just different wording even in the titles, bro. We could have two different words and have the same kind of video. Y'all might do 20, I might do 2.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. And you never know. Yeah.
Somebody got the same exact video. They dropped it after us too. And what they had, man, you said they had like 1.2 million or some crazy shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? Sometimes it gets us, man, but whatever. It's because
you'll get there, man. Just keep pushing. Always just keep pushing forward. Don't no backsteps, man. And you'll get there, bro. For real. It'll happen. You guys got good personalities, you mesh well together. Man, you guys are locked in on the right path, no doubt.
We're gonna do this, man. I feel good about it.
You're there. You got it. You guys got the charisma. You'll be solid.
That's what's up. Well,
appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, before we get out of here, man.
Just we try to end this on a message to all of our viewers, all of our eye talkers. Make sure you hit the subscribe, like, share, bell. Anyway, we always try to go out with a positive message. So if there's something that you can tell a young person right now, they're about to cross that street, right? What would you tell them before they cross that street?
Straight up, I'd say, go ahead, Gun. Go ahead.
No, you go, bro.
Straight up, I would tell them, man, hey, a lot of what's going on with gangs and prison is mind games. You know what I mean? There's gonna be preaching about, the righteousness of why we do this, and this is what it's for, and for the betterment and for the safety and doop-de-doop-de-doop. The bottom line is any of these groups, what it's going to boil down to is you're expendable. We want your cash and you're expendable. You got these down dudes, I'm a down homie. 3 years later, man, you were right. 6 months later, man, you were right. I know, I've been there and I've done that. There's 2 things that go from this lifestyle: a casket and a cell. That is it. You keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. You's a bad dude. There's a dude out there that'll sneak you. There's a dude out there with a 50 drum that's gonna hit you out of one of them 50. And those are the only 2 places you're gonna go. You're gonna get a RICO indictment. You're going to get a gang enhancement that's going to wash you for 30, or you're going to die. And then somebody else, some other man's going to be disciplining your children. You know what I'm saying? You know, your kids might get took. Your wife might go crazy because you're in prison. Now your kids are state raised, and that's going to repeat the cycle. There's nothing positive that comes from the lifestyle. There'll be cool little benefits for a while, money, girls, you know, cash, you know, the unity feeling you have with them people. But at the end of the day, you're expendable no matter who you are. Period.
So myself, if that kid's at that crosswalk, no, stop, right? And I'll jump in front for him and tell him, look, I was once at that crosswalk, I crossed, you know what I mean? I was lucky, very lucky, one of the very few lucky to realize it, be able to wiggle, you know what I mean? Slip my way up out of there and do like the Grinch and slither on out of there before it got worse, right? But Rojo's absolutely right. There is no justification for what these guys are going to tell you. They're going to spit poison, propaganda, and everything is about people, united, the people. But at the end, there's only about 3 or 4 people that count, and that's these guys at the end of the rainbow that are trying to get all the money, and then you're done, right? So what I tell kids is it's good to have a good head on your shoulders, get educated, make the right decisions. You know what I mean? Whatever decision that may be, if you decide you want to cross that road, just know in your heart, that's a decision you made of sound mind, right? I'm not going to be the one to say, oh, don't gangbang, don't do that. Do whatever you want to do. I did it. So how can I not tell you not to? Just if you're going to do it for your reasoning and not theirs. So that's just where I'm coming from.
That's real. I mean, that's facts right there. Well, shit. We definitely appreciate you coming on.
No doubt.
The jewels on us. Anything you want to share, anything you want to plug, anything we could do to help out, just reach out to us. The doors is open.
Hey, we're gonna blast you guys too on our next video or our next live, man. We'll give you guys a shout out too. Let everybody know we did an interview. Go check y'all out. Hopefully get you some action on that. But man, a Convict's Perspective, Gunners Collective, and man, we're gonna have a dope fight coming up June 26th, man, with him versus Cholo Trucker, which former ops. Now on some grown man shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and we're not pushing that they're ops and all this and that, because that's not the point of it. What the point of it is 2 grown men that may have been from different places and may have not have seen eye to eye in a past life can push past this just like anybody else can push past it. Yeah. Straight up. And all of it's going to charity, man. It's available on Vimeo.com. All you got to do is go to Vimeo, type in Gunner versus Cholo Trucker, and it'll pop up. You know what I mean? And that's June 26th, and it's going to be banging. We got some undercards. You know, we got some little funny stuff like tamale eating contests and shit. It's just going to be like a 3-hour long event with some good matches and showing that, you know, two groups, you know, because their whole camp would be considered former ops. You know what I'm saying? Just like ours. Can sit down, have some motherfucking tacos, give some handshakes. Let's have a beer. Let's watch a good fight. May the best man win. And what grown man shit. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Straight up.
And what makes this so unique is this the first time this has ever happened in the state of California, or pretty much anywhere, period, where groups have actually got together on the same level and discussed it, worked it out, you know, with the big promotion behind it, you know, and are really doing it. You know, there's gonna be a lot of stars in the crowd. It's a closed facility due to, you know, what the pandemic and things that are going on right now, and rules and regulations. But at the same time, there will be some stars in attendance. So everyone keep your eyes open. Whoever gets this pay-per-view, you might see someone that you think is familiar, or someone you might have seen in a movie a time or two. So, but yeah, definitely going to be an extravaganza. It's going to be something different. And we did that all from the ground up, from the mud, man. We got ourselves out the mud. We did it from this YouTube, showing that anyone can make it. You know, I'm making it to the posters. Let's do it.
That's fine. That's fine, yo.
Yeah.
That's
Both
fine.
guys, stay safe, man. Keep doing what you're doing. And again, we appreciate it. And we would love to have you back anytime.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, likewise. Maybe in the future down the road, man, maybe you guys can come mess with us too on one of our platforms. Help blow you guys up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yo,
Yeah,
it's
no
right, man. Yo,
Hey,
as long as you ain't
hey,
got-
it's one of them doors you push it open and then it comes back both ways. You know what I mean? One of them
Yo.
swinging doors, bro. We got you 100%.
Listen, those are the doors I love. You understand what I'm saying?
doubt.
I don't like
No
the
doubt.
doors that when you step through, you got to grab the edge that you might fall. Those are the
Yeah.
doors I don't like. That's the doors I like right there.
Like I said, we're team players, man. Any collabs you guys want to do, man, we make the time for sure. No doubt.
Most definitely.
Appreciate you guys.
Stay safe, man. Stay safe.
Thank you,
Likewise.
brother.
Oh, if they only knew.
Yes,
Yo,
sir.
yo.
All right, man.
Bang, bang.
That's right.